ChatGerry, Stroke Risk Timeline, Why My First Stroke Was Inevitable. Number, 1355-Special, September 13, 2025. Gerald C. EclaireMD Foundation. Category, Stroke. This chart shows how my stroke risk evolved over 14 years, from 2012 to 2025. The yellow line is my stroke index. In 2012 it was very high, 152, due to poorly controlled diabetes and related problems. With lifestyle improvements and tighter glucose control, the index dropped into the low 90s by 2016. That was good progress, but after 2020, the curve flattened. No matter how carefully I managed my diabetes, the number would not fall further. This was the first big clue. My blood vessels had already accumulated permanent scars from the earlier decades. The blue line is cumulative viscoplastic energy, which measures long-term stress and irreversible damage to my vessels. It climbed steeply before 2014 and reached 100% by 2019. That meant the damage was saturated, most of the harm had already been done. After that, I could stabilize my condition, but I could not undo the past. On June 21, 2025, I suffered my first stroke, marked by the red dashed line. Looking back, it was not a random accident. The warning signs were present years earlier. A plateaued stroke index around 2019 to 2020 and cumulative viscoplastic energy that had maxed out. All that was required was a trigger, in my case, an acute surge of blood pressure under stress, 175 millimeters of mercury on June 21, 2025. To rupture a fragile vessel in my brain. Lesson learned. The key lesson is that prevention must begin early. Once blood vessels are deeply scarred and calcified, even strict control cannot reverse the damage. When risk curves flatten, the system is already fragile and vulnerable. Personal feelings. 84 days after my stroke, having read more than 5,000 pages of books and papers, and written over 50 medical papers, I have finally traced the root causes and trajectory of my stroke. From a scientific perspective, it was not an accident, but rather an inevitable event that began as early as 1990, when I fainted at Hong Kong airport due to hypoglycemia, low blood sugar from diabetes. It was not until 2010, after my kidney problems emerged nearly 20 years later, that I truly woke up to the seriousness of my health condition. Hindsight always makes the picture clear, but the ability to predict is more valuable. At the very least, my 42 years of education across 8 fields were not wasted, because they gave me the tools to investigate, analyze, and uncover the root causes and progression of my disease. I thank God that I am still alive to discover the truth, to face my problems directly, and even to make some corrections and necessary improvements. That is far better than having died in ignorance. Disclaimer: this content is for educational reference only and not medical advice. No doctor-patient relationship is created. You may share this summary freely, but it must not be edited or republished as your own.